Get ready. Lave Radio.
Hi, this is Tiffany Clare, and I play Valentina in The Dex Legacy. The Dex Legacy is a member of Apollo Plus, a creator-owned platform where every subscriber helps audio drama makers like the Dex Legacy team. Subscribers get to listen ad-free to their favourite drama and fiction shows and gain access to exclusive bonus content. Join Apollo Plus by downloading the Apollo Podcasts app or going to apollopods.com. We'll post a link in our show notes. Now please enjoy this episode of The Dex Legacy.
Get the full Dex Legacy Season 2 box set ad-free and in high-quality audio now by going to thedexlegacy.com or following the link in the show notes of this podcast.
The Dex Legacy is intended for a mature, adult audience and contains themes that some may find upsetting. A comprehensive list of trigger warnings covering the entire season can be found in the show notes.
Despite being the only three to wear the name, Varian, Isra, and Ren are not the only Dex children. On the day of primary prototype selection, Nathaniel was presented with 21 orphans. The remaining 18 were left in reserve. These children have grown up on the periphery, receiving treatments based on those tailor-made for Varian, Isra, and Ren, with varying degrees of success. Some are thankful for the distance, others resent it. All are extraordinary.
Listening to The Dex Legacy Season 2 Interlude 1 Secondary Subjects, starring Danielle Ellett, Stevie Skinner, Ray Whitty, and Emily Inkpen.
Otto?
Yes, Ferris?
The Y220 rifle. When will that be available for testing?
The Y220 rifle will be ready for limited distribution in 2 weeks' time.
Remind me of the details.
I have already told you.
Tell me again, Otto.
The Y220 antimatter rifle is an evolution of the MX420. The pared-down style has been described as primitive by Dr. Srivastava, but the simplicity allows for a pure Gossin muscle and action, which will improve durability, while providing a fractional increase in velocity and purity of shot. Because of the simple, uncluttered design, the buttstock can pivot for ease of transport on the back of any sniper.
And tell me about the range.
Range of effective fire will be 5,000 meters, although I am sure you will surpass all expectations.
Am I interrupting anything?
Only dreams, Raya. Only dreams.
The Y220? Oh, I've heard it's been delayed. A reinforced version's being developed for Isra to test first.
What?
Joking. Honestly, you're so easy to wind up. Oh, you thought I wouldn't dodge that?
It was worth a shot.
Why does she get to you so much?
Isra? She wouldn't if she didn't come up in every goddamn conversation. Sometimes it feels like I'm the only one who knows the world doesn't revolve around her.
You know, it's easier if you just stop caring that it does.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does. For Dex Industries, anyway. Devik's work is 100% about her, Varian, and Ren. The president adopted them. Osa Srivastava designs weapons and uniforms specifically for them. They're what the company cares about.
I'm so fed up of hearing that.
Why?
Because the company should care about us, too. We're all prototypes.
The way I see it, well, if Devik cared more about me, he'd be doing more stuff to me. And I do not want that. We got off lucky.
Yeah, tell that to our fallen brothers and sisters who died of side effects with barely any added treatment to stop it.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's not Isra's fault. You're a better shot than her.
Yeah, well, I know. And it's just so tempting to just shave off a finger sometimes.
Ooh, I won't tell her you said that.
What? She's got 10.
Oh, it's a waste of energy. Dr. Devik would just find a way to grow another one for her.
And why do you think I haven't even bothered?
So who else is out here?
All of us first gens except for Audra and Ed. They're back on base. So, Handos, Ash, and Shiv.
Shiv was doing well, from what I could see.
Yeah, she went crazy in the battle, like totally flipped and went manic. I was a bit scared she lost it, but afterwards she calmed right down and went back to her normal self. It was weird.
I've got a couple of pilots who would do that. There's two sides to them, and it's always the really nice ones. Like, they're so nice you think they'd never be able to hurt anyone. Then as soon as they're in battle, they become a whole other person.
Same Shiv's one of them.
Interesting. You never know till you're in it. Hey, who was that tiny one with the axes?
Oh, gosh. That's Isra's first officer, Pax.
Well, she seems like another crazy one.
Except she's always the same. Tiny, hyperactive, and a bit manic, and having way too much fun in the fight. As soon as she's out there, she's just laughing and running about hacking pieces off of people. It's weird. Like it's some kind of game.
Can't wait to meet her.
Trust me, you'll know when you have. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of your company?
Thought I'd come and see how you found your first fight.
That wasn't my first fight.
Yeah, it was. Your first fight out in the field, anyway.
Ah, well, I survived.
You did. And how was it? For you?
Well, it was... Come on, you know this. You've been in tons of battles.
Not tons. And it's different for everyone.
Honestly, it was kind of boring.
Boring?
Yeah, I mean, I got some good shots in, but then this crazy pilot kept flying over and blasting half of the mountain away.
Half the mountain.
Yeah, they think they're a good shot and they're a fighter, but really it's a scattergun approach and blind luck.
Oh, now you're asking for it.
So, why did you come here, really?
Oh, well, now I've got you pinned, I thought I'd see if you're up for, you know.
You honestly think you've got me pinned?
I haven't.
I'm not as strong as Isra, but I'm not far off. See?
All right. You got me.
Apparently. As for your question, just this once, right now?
I'm free now. And it seems we're going to be operating in the same area for a couple of weeks. So maybe not just this once.
Operating in the same area?
So to speak.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, don't do me any favours.
Joking. Honestly, you're so easy to wind up.
Hey, Ferris, I'm going down some of the tunnels with Isra and Shiv to see where they go and maybe kill some people, and I thought you might want to come too.
No thanks.
Really? You barely got to do anything in the big fight, and I thought you might want to, but it's okay if you don't. Hi, you must be Raya.
Yeah, I am.
Well, if you're busy, I'll see you later. Have fun.
I actually did tons in that fight.
So that was Pax.
Yep, that was Pax. Now, where were we?
I'm just going to lock the door.
In Season 2, Interlude 1 of The Dex Legacy, you heard Danielle Ellett as Faris, Stevie Skinner as Raya, Ray Whitty as Pax, and Emily Inkpen as Auto, with music by Dr. Alan Stroud. Season 2 was recorded at Orpheus Studio in London by Richard Campbell. The Dex Legacy is written by me, Emily Inkpen, and produced by Alternative Stories. If you enjoyed that episode, please like, subscribe, and leave a review. It really does help. If you would like to support The Dex Legacy, you can. Just visit www.thedexlegacy.com/support for links and details.
If you can't wait to know what happens next in Season 2 of The Dex Legacy, you don't have to. You can buy the entire Season 2 box set in higher quality audio than you'll hear in our podcast feed and without ads by going to our website, thedexlegacy.com, and selecting support. There's also a link in our show notes that will take you straight there. Also at thedexlegacy.com, you'll find our Season 1 script and commentary book. All the scripts for Season 1 with commentary from our writer Emily Inkpen, so you can read along and get insight into the making of the show. All proceeds from sales of these items and other Dex Legacy merch will go towards making Season 3 of the show.
Thank you for listening to The Dex Legacy, a proud member of Apollo Plus, a creator-owned platform where every subscriber helps audio drama creators, like the Dex Legacy team. Subscribers get to listen ad-free to their favourite drama and fiction shows and gain access to exclusive bonus content. Importantly, for independent shows like ours, Apollo Plus helps us generate revenue to cover our operating costs, meaning that we're much more likely to be able to generate more of the content you enjoy. 70% of the revenue generated by Apollo Plus goes directly to creators, meaning that you, the listener, will be able to enjoy more from your favourite drama and fiction podcasts. We're delighted to be alongside great shows such as Derelict, The Madness of Chartrulian, Gundog, Moonbase Theta Out, Solar, Wolf 359, The Pasithea Powder, Girl in Space, and many others on Apollo Plus. It really is a great platform on which to listen to and discover audio drama. Please download the app and get listening if you haven't already. By listening through Apollo, you'll also have access to exclusive Dex Legacy bonus material and episodes. You can download the app from the App Store and Google Play by searching for Apollo Podcasts, or you can visit apollopods.com or follow the link in our show notes.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately. Have you been affected by Azimuth Biotech's provocation of the Thargoid menace? At Turner & Fig, we're ready to pursue claims against Azimuth Biotech as part of our class action lawsuit.
My son has started worshipping the Thargoid god and keeps bringing home human sacrifices. Am I entitled to compensation?
Yes, you are.
My daughter was aboard the Bright Sentinel. I keep calling Azimuth to find out where she is, but I always get their voicemail.
Thank you for calling Azimuth Biotech. We're sorry, but
salvation
is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Am I entitled to compensation?
Yes, you are.
I was selling escape pod occupants into slavery, but now Thargoids keep taking the escape pods instead. Am I entitled to compensation?
I suppose so. Thousands, maybe millions of people are due compensation from Azimuth Biotech. Contact us today. Turner & Fig, cleaning out Azimuth Biotech for a huge portion of your compensation.
Welcome to the bubble. 55,000 stars with 19,000 inhabited systems, settlements, outposts, stations and bases. Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? Well, we can take you there. If you're too poor to own a spaceship, Apex Interstellar. What are you waiting for? No, is this thing finished? Get out of my way.
Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P-15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When alarms sound, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman. Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
Lave Radio. Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
Touchdown, my heart is beating. See the dust on my feet, feel the weight on my bones, hear my breath in start this odyssey. Brave steps in front of me. My eyes so wide to see this future. Let's make this odyssey. Frontiers for us to see. Vistas so wide, this is the future. Embrace the future. On this odyssey. Touchdown. This place is bubbling. Watch them run, watch them fly. Have a drink, start a fire. Climb a ship, see the size. For the first time, touchdown. We are greeting. See the look in their eyes. On my highway, surprise of a fight for their lives. Yeah, we are meeting. Let's start this odyssey. Brave steps in front of me. My eyes so wide to see this future. Let's make this odyssey. Frontiers for us to see. Vistas so wide, this is the future. Embrace the future. Bullets fall like burning chaff. The celebration turns to violence. Laser fire makes shields go blue. Explosions fill my ringing ears. Humanity has come to stay. With all our faults, fears and anger. Joyous in this wondrous fall. Or let me slip away. Let's start this odyssey. Brave steps in front of me. My eyes so wide to see this future. Let's make this odyssey. Frontiers for us to see. Vistas so wide, this is the future. Embrace the future.
Waiting for things to load. Waiting for things to load. Sitting in your chair, waiting for things to load. Waiting for the manifest to update. Playing old space games. Waiting for things to load. You just want to get out there and explore space. See the galaxy. Blaze your own trail. But you're in your chair, waiting for things to load. Wait no longer, Commander! Automated cargo drones will load cargo into your ship in no time. Automated cargo drones, available now in most starports.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place?
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 468 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, otherwise known as Colin Ford, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this, I think it can only be described as will be a high-energy episode. We have our health of head, I'll just put my teeth back in, actually, if you don't mind. It's our head of health and safety, Commander Ed Levice, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
Hello, Colin.
Okay, thank you, Marvin. We also have our staff liaison officer, Commander Psychit.
You can't tell me what to do.
Oh, okay. And we also have our, welcoming back our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Yes, I'm back. I'm warm. I don't even know what fucking day of the week it is. Help.
It's Tuesday. It's
Is
Lave
it-
Radio Day.
Is it still Tuesday?
It's still Tuesday.
Only Tuesday of the longest week that's already existed.
Yes, we've already got a pathos saying that this is pure chaos. Wonderful, thank you. And also, you might hear in the
No
background.
heresy here.
Yeah, you might hear the dulcet tones of the Chris Mark IV in the background somewhere. If you wish, you can join us live. Are we hanging out in game? I thought we were.
We are. Chris and I are in Lave Station. I saw a Siberius and there's Saka somebody or other. I think it was, wasn't it, Chris?
Soka 42. Sorry, I was halfway through a biscuit.
At least you weren't on any nuts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The nuts are too noisy. Nuts are bad.
Mid biscuit interruption. You love to see it.
I don't want to interrupt you and your digestive. What happens between a man and his digestive is his own business. Anyway, if you can't get to us in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live and click on the live chat. Or you could go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio or Facebook or XE Twitter, or I think that's about it at the moment. So yeah, we're there. So let's have a quick chat round the crew. I'm dreading this, to be honest. I really am. We'll start with Claire.
Hey. Hello. What have I been up to this week? I left the house. I left the house. We went down to Cardiff because BBC Wales are celebrating this. They celebrated quite a lot this weekend because some Time Lord happened to turn 60. So we went down to the quay, not to the quay. It's called the Bay, Cardiff Bay. And at Cardiff Bay, they had a wonderful. A little while ago, like a couple of Christmases ago, Frontier did a Jurassic World installation in Hyde Park, and there was that projection of the thing that was really cool of the dinosaurs, of the one underwater dinosaurs. BBC Wales did a projection on a water fountain, a 5-minute little show, a tribute to Doctor Who. It was on for 3 days, and we went on the Friday evening. It was absolutely chuffing marvelous. I didn't think they advertised it particularly well because it was showing every half hour, but it wasn't particularly busy when we went. But that's fine because I got to see it. I got to cry at it and enjoy it. It was wonderful and lovely. It was just a really nice. There was a pub right behind us, and we got a soft drink and a pint in the pub because obviously Chris was driving, but we had a soft drink and a pint in the pub, and it cost more than £10 for a Coke and a pint. And I had to.
You've got to that age. You've got to that age where you suddenly go.
I had to pick Chris off the floor. No, Chris got really angry and Scottish, and we had to pick him off the floor in order to leave the pub. But it was a beautiful thing. It was a really nice thing to go and visit, and it wasn't super cold and it wasn't raining, which, big pluses in my book. It was just it was nice to go and actually see something and Doctor Who related. And then obviously Doctor Who was on over the weekend, and it was marvelous. I loved every single moment of it. I thought it was great. My life was pretty much focused around being nervously anticipating David Tennant coming back to Doctor Who, and then enjoying it, and then feeling the relief that it was a good show. But then after that, other than that, I've been gaming a lot, as I clearly want to do. A fair amount of Baldur's Gate, a fair amount of a little bit of Elite, obviously. There's been a bit of fracas going on with Azimuth. They appear to be resurfacing somewhat, so we've been getting the band back together and doing a bit of anti-Azimuth work, which has been quite
the Azimuth
fun.
Banhammer has been out again, has it?
Well, it's just been a little bit of here and there, just checking in, seeing how they're doing, seeing they're getting a little bit big for their boots and Zwangda, so let's just knock them down a peg or two. So we've done a bit of that. And today I started playing. There is a relatively new space story game that's come out based on a science fiction novel by a Polish author whose name is really, really fully escaping me at the moment. It's called The Invincible, and it is incredibly intriguing and very interesting. I haven't read the book, so I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on because I'm following the narrative through the game. It's a great year for story games, I will say it again. But this has been a really, really fun. Fun is a really strange word to say. It's been a really interesting sci-fi. It's not a horror, but it builds tension very nicely. It's a very cool game as far as the tension that it builds.
What kind of game is it?
It's you know how people refer to things as walking simulators,
Oh,
and
yes, yes.
you don't do a you're basically sort of like
like a Telltale Games game.
No, not like a Telltale Games. Stanislaus Lem is the author, apparently. Thank you, Kremen. It's like what becomes of Edith Finch springs to mind straight away.
That's the one I was thinking of.
So while you are playing and walking through the game, also there's a game called Close Your Eyes, which is very much an interactive. It's more of like an interactive story, but you are walking through it and experiencing the story, and you are making some decisions within the game. There was a pivotal part earlier that I split through. It's very good. It's very good. It's a very good story to experience. It's highly narrative driven, and it's excellent.
Okay, because it sounds like you're describing what the Expanse game was.
The Expanse game in kind of, but
it's story, but it's it's more a story than a game. But it's still kind of a game.
Kind of, yeah. I could see it. I think because this one's first person, you're playing in first person. That's why I'm relating it to like Edith Finch more than anything else. I'm really
enjoying it.
Really enjoying it. Hoping to finish it. Yeah, hoping to finish it next week. Or hoping to finish it later this week. It's really interesting. It's relatively short, probably about 7 hours worth of gameplay. Really nice.
I'm assuming relatively inexpensive then.
Like 25 quid, I think, something like that.
Okay.
No, it's not too bad, I suppose.
But yeah, really fun. Really fun. And yeah, that's been about it really. Still playing Cyberpunk. Still not quite at the finale. I think 2 more Mondays and we'll get that done. Who knows? I might find another fucking mission that's been hiding forever.
That's about right, really, with that damn game.
Oh my god! Like 2 months ago, I went into a stream going, I think this is going to be the last time that we play Cyberpunk, and I've played it weekly since and still not finished it.
Okay, we'll move on to the rewarmed Alec Turner.
Hello. Sorry, I've been having another nightmare today, but you don't. It's a work nightmare, so I'm trying to. I'm downing beer at a furious rate here to try and calm myself down again. Yes, hello. It's been 2 weeks. I had a bit of a boiler nightmare. Do you want to hear about it? It's quite.
Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know, however long ago, several weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had a minor electrical outage thing where one of our circuit breaker things tripped, and we just reset it and thought nothing of it. And then getting on for the evening, we thought, gosh, this house is starting to feel awfully cold, and the boiler was off. And I switched it off and on again. It's quite a complicated new boiler, so I had to get the manual and figure out how to do even that. But we rebooted it a few times, and it was having none of it. So what did I do? So then we made an appointment with the company who makes the boiler, because I was very clever, and when we bought it, it's only a year old, I bought a 12-year warranty. I thought, for the first time ever, I'm going to win out on this whole warranty nonsense. But it turned out, because I hadn't had it serviced, with less than 12, it's bloody brand new. I mean, if I had anything else that was less than a year old, so it's like literally a year old. Oh god. Anyway, so because I hadn't serviced it within its first year of being brand new, my entire 12-year warranty was void.
Oh no,
bastards. So anyway, I booked what was called a warranty renewal call out for 190 quid. So they would come out, they'd renew the warranty, they'd service the boiler, and they would fix the fault. And then and then because all this happened on Thursday evening, and it was too late for it to happen Friday, and they obviously don't work weekends, it was Monday. So 0 heating for 4 days. So the house is getting seriously cold by now. So I really want it fixed on the Monday. So this guy comes out, and he's all right. The bloke was all right, but he's one of these people. Okay, the analogy is this. Imagine you take your car into the garage because there's something wrong with the engine, and you see an engine specialist, and he services your engine, and then he hands you your keys back and goes, "There you go, mate, all done." And A, you can't get into the car, and B, even if you could, the car wouldn't start. But he's right, but he's like, "Yeah, but I've serviced the engine, so I'm off, mate, all done." It's like, hang on a minute. So A, I couldn't control the boiler because you have to use an app, and he hadn't synced it up, and it wouldn't sync up for some reason. So that's like the analogy of me not being able to get in my fucking car.
Yeah.
And then B, it turns out the radiators still weren't getting warm, even though the boiler was serviced. So it's like, brilliant, I've serviced the boiler, but our radiators are cold and I can't control them. Asshole. So I kept him in the house as long as I could, but he managed to get the app working, but the radiators were still cold. He wandered off saying, "Oh, I'm sure they'll start warming up," and left. Anyway, when they were still stone cold the next day, I rang up the boiler company in something of a rage by this point, and asked for somebody else to come round. And then they gave me an appointment, and it was only when I paid attention I realised. Oh no! So they gave me an appointment, and the next day, which was now Tuesday. So I had to take all Monday off work. So this was Tuesday, which I also now had to take off work. Knock at the door. It's the same bloody bloke. My face falls. My wife looks around the corner and says loudly, "Oh no." The bloke says, "What, don't you want me here?" We say no, and he throws a complete strop, moans about how long he's spent at our house the day before, and then literally turns around and strops off. It's like, fuck. So then I'm back on the phone to the
That is
boiler company.
fucking wild.
I'm
Sorry to
back
interrupt.
on the
I'm
phone to
so
the boiler
sorry.
company, even more furious. They give me another appointment, which I then realise is a week from
Oh,
that
Lord.
day. And Jesus Christ.
Oh my
So,
god, I would be raging so hard. I'm surprised you're able to talk about it without
so I
screaming.
raged, and eventually they managed to get somebody else to come round the next day, which was Wednesday, and this guy actually knew what he was doing and fixed
Oh
everything.
my gosh.
Anyway, that was a
And
week ago.
relax.
Let me take a sip of my beer. What have I been up to this week? I went to see Napoleon, which was awesome. I do love I've forgotten his name. The actor.
Phoenix thingy.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thingy
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
So
That's the one.
River Phoenix is dead.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
know
great.
that.
Napoleon is terrific. Went to a nice restaurant in London with my wife, which was lovely. And in game, what have I been doing? Oh yeah, a good show last week, by the way, guys. That tidied me through. I went stomping off to the village at some point to get myself a
So
coffee.
you want to get warm?
Yes, pretty much. And I listened to Lave Radio on the way, and it was jolly nice listening to that. Good discussion. So as the bit of the discussion about things to do when you've done it all, I found a new thing to do that we didn't feature on the show. Falling into deep craters. Turns out it's great fun. So somebody reported to me this crater on Callisto, which is one of Jupiter's moons, I believe, in the solar system. And they claimed that this crater was between 33 and 36 kilometers deep. And my mind was racing, thinking, hang on, how high was Mount Everest? That sounds insanely deep. I can't believe there's a crater 33 kilometers deep. So I went to have a look, and it is. It's, from the base of the crater to the tip of its rim it's about 33 kilometers. So I've been jumping SRVs off it, and then I rolled a DBX down the wall of it and filmed it, and it's been one of my most popular videos ever. It takes 14 minutes, folks, for a DBX to fall from the top of this crater to the bottom.
Please tell me you sped it up with Benny Hill music.
No, I figured the point of this was to let the full 14 minutes of it slowly unfurl. And it's amazing just how many people seem to have got sucked into watching the full 14 minutes of a DBX tumbling down the wall of a crater and then commenting on it. I've had more engagement with that video than any other video where I've spent ages doing something skillful and editing it a lot. It turns out all you have to do is roll a spaceship down a wall and film it, and people will love it. I'm going on holiday next week, so then I can leave all this crap behind me.
especially cold houses.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to Ben.
What have I've been doing? I've also left the house. On Saturday, I went to see the Marvels again, and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think it was the new Mockingbird
Hunger Games thing, yeah.
trilogy thing.
Oh, that right.
So I was surprised. I was expecting that to be really shit, frankly.
Oh right. Is it not?
It's not. You know,
Oh.
I really was expecting it to be shit. But it's at least as good as any of the other films. It's a bit of a musical, which makes sense considering the actress they got to play it, to play the lead character.
Right.
But yeah, it's an interesting, it's a good little story basically about the President Snow becoming, taking his first steps basically.
Oh right. So it's about snow. Okay, it's about snow.
Well,
I didn't
it's
realize
about it's about Snow when he was a teenager basically.
that.
Or late teenager, just at school, and things like that. I don't want to say too much, obviously, but yeah, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. Apparently, it's a one-off and not a sequel, but who knows? Because there is so much sequel potential. But apparently, the author just did it as a one-off, so I guess we'll see.
Oh right. So it's based on one of her books. It wasn't one of these. So it wasn't one of the. Yeah. Right. So it wasn't one of these. Oh, they've gone and done this, so we'll just go and create movies like.
Yeah, we've had a couple of good films. Let's milk the series even more. No, it's by a book that she released back in 2020. So that was quite good. I was going to say something. What was I going to say?
What you've done in game, maybe?
Yeah. So I've been playing Elite. I wish I'd known about Alex Crater earlier because I've been flying around the Sol system, basically just taking in the views because that's where I was last week.
He's still there. I know the coordinates.
I was going to say to Chris, would you and anyone else at Lave like to go on a road trip back to Sol? And we could go there.
You do.
I'll see what these guys want to think. So yeah, I've been basically flying around Sol, going, oh look, there's the Big Dipper. There's Sirius. There's Polaris. I recognize this. Yeah, I've been enjoying all that kind of stuff in Elite. In Star Citizen, I've been doing. I don't know. It's not a protect. What would you call it when you're protecting people from pirates?
Escort missions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've been doing like anti-piracy kind of stuff.
Vigilante work.
Yeah, vigilante work. That's another way of saying it. Basically, though, we came in and we're like, anyone in one of these ships attacking traders, we're going to kill you, and we did, and that was fun for a couple of hours. And then we went off and said, anyone who's dying, we'll come rescue you, and we did that as well for a few hours, and that was a lot of fun and it was very organized, which was quite interesting because we got out and like the ship opened up its doors, two little snub fighters leave the ship and fly off and do scouting. Then, providing everything's clear, then we sort of deploy a troop carrier, get the troop carrier near the person who's like running, low on health. It's a bit like Trauma Team from Cyberpunk. We will save you, but fuck anyone getting in our way, kind of thing. So yeah, we're doing that, and that was a lot of fun. Then I've been playing a slightly controversial game with Hogwarts Legacy, which I have to admit I had been avoiding. But whilst it's not the best game I've played this year, it's not a terrible game. And there are some lovely moments in it. and it's definitely taking steps to distance itself from.
Don't even mention that. Don't even need to mention that. Please don't mention that. Please don't mention it.
Okay. Yeah. So it's doing things because F them. What else have we been doing? Oh yeah, I've been playing a little bit of RimWorld as well, and a few retro games. And fuck me, I can't even get through the first bloody level of Streets of Rage. I was trying to play Streets of Rage earlier, and I was like, okay, I'm playing this on a gamepad controller. It is Bluetooth, I know this, so there is latency in there. But I'm getting like a dog coming up behind me, and it's like every single time I jump out the way of the dog, I land in somebody is shooting at me's way, and I was like, "What the hell am I meant to do?" Because I can't turn around and shoot the dog because I've got like I've got less than half a second between the dog going from one side of my screen to the other, and it's just like, this is the first bloody level, and I'm like, okay, either I am sucking or this is really, really, really hard, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to find out that I am sucking.
I'm sorry.
Giggity.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Well, after that extensive catalogue, I've just been playing Final Fantasy VII again, and more.
On what platform?
On PC.
Okay.
We're on 4K at full resolution. So I've been loving it, and I've almost completed it. So it's almost a check in the box. So I've really been enjoying that, surprisingly enough. A little bit of Elite, and mostly a lot of I'm back on the bike, thankfully. Been on the bike all this week, so I'm back cycling. And then almost got knocked off yesterday, which I didn't really want.
Isn't that the second time you've almost been knocked off since you got back on the bike? Weren't you almost knocked off the other week as well?
Yeah, it does seem like people forget to use their brakes these days. So, yeah, it's a bit worrying. So that's it, really. Right. Moving on. Let's get this out the way. The development news. Well, what have the devs said this week? Nothing official from the devs. However, there was some news as far as Frontier was concerned this week. They released a press statement acknowledging the fact that their latest release, Realms of Ruin, didn't go so well. Their sales projections are less than it should be, and it's going to cause problems. So they've gone and released this statement, trying to reassure the market, I think, that they've got 3 future CMS games, which is content. Well, hang on. We were arguing about
management systems.
Yeah,
Nope. Yeah, it's management simulations. It's management simulations.
See, it's not just me who sees
I don't-
CMS.
No.
I
develop
management.
CMSs. Ben, that's what I do for a living. I develop CMS.
I've done
CMSs
CMSs for a living too.
I don't speak in stupid office nerdy shit. I don't know. I don't know. I speak in games, so I understood it.
Right. Well, you should understand this then. They got 3 new games coming out in each of the next financial years in 25, 26, and 27.
One
so
of
there's
them better be Planet Coaster 2. That's all I'm fucking saying. Come on.
The important thing that they've said is alongside these new games, we will continue to develop and support our portfolio of existing games, including Elite Dangerous, our F1 Manager franchise, and Realms of Ruin. So yes, it's, put it this way, when this statement was released, the stock market, it lost another 20% on the stock market or something daft like that. So things were not looking good with with Frontier. We do know that they're still very cash rich, and they're able to take these losses. there's a massive thread on the forums with people discussing what it means for Elite Dangerous, where surprisingly it comes out quite positive because they've actually reassured people that they're going to develop and support Elite Dangerous. When for the last, was it month and a bit, it's been kind of quiet. We expect that's because they've been working on Realm of Ruin. So yeah, there's been an awful lot of stuff in the press as well about how Realm of Ruin hasn't taken off, and basically, especially PC Gamer, the thing was, did anyone else read that PC Gamer review of Realm of
No,
Ruin?
what did they say?
Well, to me, I read through it all, and they were kind of saying that the controls weren't as good, and it was falling over too much. But what the rest of it was a complaint about the setting. That is not Warhammer; it's Age of Sigma.
No, that's a thing. My understanding is that the had Frontier maybe been able to occupy, like take a more appreciated by the Warhammer nerds IP, they might have done a little bit better with it. But Age of Sigma is something that's really not enjoyed at all by a lot of Warhammer nerds.
Yeah, but the problem is if you go real-time strategy and with a Warhammer game, you're up against Total War Warhammer, and that game is unbelievably good. And I don't know you'd be able to drag the other Warhammer people away from it, to be honest.
Well, if it was, I think honestly, if it was anything other from the, I really enjoyed it. What I played of it, I thought it was really, really fun. I thought the story was really engaging. I love the fact that the cutscenes had mocap. All of that stuff was incredibly promising. Really good for a Frontier game. It's really good for a Frontier game. Make me think that I'm thinking, it's not like Frontier don't do good games, because I wholeheartedly, the evidence is in itself that I believe that Frontier make good games, but I just don't think, I wish maybe had it been something else, like what was the other one that they did that was it, like the 4K?
Oh, the Warhammer 40k, yeah.
Warhammer, 40k thing. Had they done a real-time strategy sort of based in that universe? But I wonder if something else is stopping them from doing that. I don't know enough about Warhammer to feel like I know what I'm talking about at all.
It's a licensing nightmare.
I can imagine.
Games Workshop look after their IP like an old lord looks after a chastity belt, if you know what I mean. So it's incredibly tough to get into where you want to be. I don't know where I'm going with this metaphor, but
are you trying to say that Warhammer basically gave them Age of Sigma as a red-headed stepchild?
Let's just say I think Age of Sigma is not treated as well as the other two universes, even though they've actually officially stopped the original Warhammer Fantasy Battles. I mean, Alan would know tons about this stuff because but yeah, they were saying that this would have been better as a Warhammer 40k thing, but to tell you the truth, I don't think Games Workshop would have let them have the license.
Oh, because who's got the license for Warhammer 40k games?
Oh, they're actually quite good at keeping the actual license to themselves. They'll say, "Oh, you can have the license for that." We know that Frontier, the Demon Hunter game. I mean, they've got the license for that particular chapter of Warhammer 40k Marines, but there are other licensing things where you can license one chapter of Space Marines, but you can't use any other chapters. They've got it. They've got it sewn up.
I've seen some absolutely terrible mobile games in the 40k universe. Yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to play them. Some of the games.
Mobile games are.
Well, they are terrible anyway.
Yeah, but they're a lot of them are predatory, aren't they? So it's
Yes, a lot of them are. Ironically, though, as as I found out, if you've got to try and find the right balance to get revenue from those games. If you do it too predatory, then you are fleecing your customers, and they know it. If you don't do enough, like you say, if you pay, never ask them to pay for your game, because no one will buy it. They're too used to getting something for free and then just paying a little microtransactions as it goes. Or in my case, your game gets pirated by someone in Russia, and even though you got 50,000 downloads, you don't get a penny of it. So, yay. Not that I'm bitter about it.
No.
Not at all. Anyway, so the upshot of all this is that, there's people who are actually positive about this announcement, because they said that they are going to continue to develop and support Elite Dangerous.
BLDR, game's not dead.
Yes.
Well, we got 3 years, 4 years,
Have we?
3, 4 years, something like that. 3, 4 years is what they committed to.
Well,
Because they were talking about the post. Hang on.
they're talking about making a CMS game in 27, but they're not.
But and during that time, continual support and development for.
Wow, that's a stretch, but go on then. If you,
I don't think that's a stretch. I think that's fair.
I suppose alongside
Alongside is a phrase.
I mean,
Yep.
Wow, I wouldn't hold that up. I wouldn't hold them up to that in a court of law. But yeah,
I mean, we're fucking 10 years down the line. I've had my fill of the game. I've played.
Oh yeah, I'm not
5,000 hours. So
I hadn't read that sentence as saying Elite will continue into 27.
No.
Well, I'd read CMS and read it as a completely different thing. So interpretations of what they are.
They are indeed.
Right. Well, according to this, they haven't made any announcement. I think the last announcement about a patch was obviously in the last live stream. They said there was but we haven't heard anything about a new patch coming at the end of this month, because it's almost at the end of this month.
We were speculating quite heavily that this patch might have something else in it, but I suppose I'm having my doubts now, because that would be a story beat. That would kind of have to happen almost. But if it is just a what do they call it? Not a reliability, a stability update. I guess they're more
quality of
flexible,
life, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, quality of life, which is you'll be off again. You get Alec off again.
I'm definitely poking
As long
the
as
bear
there's a
today.
working
I'm so
heater.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
So long as there's a working heater.
Yes,
Long
and
as I'm warm,
on the subject of poking the bear, I do appreciate the extra comments we're now getting in the chat about me and Adders. Yes, I appreciate them like a hole in the teeth. So, right, I guess that's going to be it for the moment. We did have a Galnet news roundup by Paul, which was quite nice. The usual account as edited by Marvin the Paranoid Android, I think. But
oh wow, it's big. I've missed this one. I'm gonna have to go back.
Well, he's had a couple of weeks to catch up, you see. But
It's like a month's worth.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. If he's going to do them monthly, that's cool.
Oh, that's going to be quite a lot.
Well, no, because we get like two a week at the moment.
Right. Moving on from that, we've got the community news. And the community news is important because this time it's Buckyball again. I'm glad you're on, Alec, and you're not off next week.
It's a shame I wasn't here last week because I forgot to announce it. There's a Buckyball race on. It started last Saturday. Get on it, folks. You've missed 3 days, but you can keep going. There's something momentous has happened. I have to shout about this because I'm just so excited because this never happens. This never happens.
Go on, then.
Well, today's leaderboard.
Yeah.
Top of today's leaderboard is yours truly ahead of both Skur and Shay Blackwood.
Are they ill? Oh, do we know that they're of sound mind at the moment? Are we okay?
Okay. I mean,
the
thing is, to be fair, I'm going to say this quietly, but I'm in a fully kitted out super sleek, super lightweight, high range DBX. You know, the most boring ship because it's the obvious one to win this race. Whereas both Sker and Show Blackwood are in Type 6 and Type 7s respectively. But let's gloss over that.
Wow.
Let's gloss over that. Let me go down the scoreboard once again. Alec Turner, then Sker, then Show Blackwood. Yes.
In a Type 6 and Type 7, just to
No,
clarify.
no. Gloss over
Okay.
that.
Okay,
We're
I'll
glossing
gloss
over
over. I'll
that.
gloss over the fact that they're both in a Type 6 and Type 7.
Yes,
Duly
we're
noted.
definitely glossing over.
Perfect. Good to know. Good to know.
It's a good
Right.
race.
So, it's Close Encounters of a Bucky Kind. What does that entail then?
So what it entails, it is a rerun of a previous race with some slightly rejigged stations, but the idea is it's one of these lovely super simple races until you get into it and discover it's got its little. So there's no bonuses or any of that stuff. You take off from a space station in the Cured system, and then you have to visit 4 other space stations in any order you like, and then come back to the Cured station. But the neat thing is that all of these stations are notable for being very close to the body that they orbit. In particular, it features Robert Aitken Orbital, where basically there isn't enough route. You know, normally if you're coming in, there's the sort of rule about cutting past the planet, and then you end up facing the mail slot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that at Robert Aitken. I mean, there is no way you can do that. You know, because the station is so damn close to the planet. There's no way of sort of putting yourself between the station and the planet and then point. You know, you have to come in at the side to squeeze in between the two, basically. That's the most extreme one, but the others are similar. There's an asteroid base, which is interesting as well. So all the normal sort of tried and trusted buckyball techniques of doing your sort of corkscrews and controlling the speed and coming in a nice arc, they sort of don't work because you're suddenly getting very close to planets, which means if you get too close, and some of these planets have got quite a hefty pull on them, if you get too close, you can suddenly find yourself in very thick soup. You know, I one of my first practice runs, I cut too close to one of them, and my ETA went from sort of 4 seconds to about 30 seconds. I basically abandoned the run because I was just so stuck in the glue of its gravity that there was no point pressing on. So it's really interesting. It's like it's pure, simple buckyball racing, but you've just got to get it just right. And you kind of you can't follow a rule. It's not like you can. There's no sort of simple rule you can follow. You've just really got to use all those instincts of listening to the sound of the engines and getting a feel for it. And yeah, it's great. I love it. It's my favourite sort of race.
Excellent.
That's
But
cool.
nothing to do with the fact that, of course, you're winning.
That helps. That does help. I'm actually I'm gonna miss the end of the race. I'm going on holiday on Friday, so I will miss the last 2 days, which means I will
Ooh,
I
that's
will
going to
get
be.
well, I will get to watch myself slowly and inevitably sink down the leaderboards like a DBX rolling into a very deep crater.
Or Daniel Ricciardo when he goes out first and then sees himself go straight to the bottom.
Yeah, it'll happen. But I'm trying to cement a good head lead, a good head start.
Yeah. Right. Well, for those of you who want to know more details about this, we have the Buckyball Race link in the show notes. So yeah, it's available on the forums, so you can
Runs
have a
until
go.
midnight Sunday the 3rd of
Third.
December.
Sunday the 3rd. Right. All right. Ben does look as if he's slowly approaching the coordinates, so this will be interesting. Right. Next up. Now this one's going to make some people feel old, especially me. Last week it was the 9th anniversary of the launch event. 9 years since the game was not officially launched, but the launch party happened.
The one at Duxworth.
The one at Duxworth. Were you there?
No.
No. So the only person that was there was Ben.
Were you not there, Colin?
No.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
that's the time. Yeah. I can't discuss what happened to me
Yeah.
that day, but yeah, it was yeah.
Good
Bit,
times were had by all, and I don't want to rub your noses in it.
well, is there anything that you can remember that night, or did it disappear in a drunken haze?
I, unlike certain people, was actually completely sober.
Oh.
Were you there
I
in an
know.
official Lave Radio capacity, Ben? Because
I
there
was.
were
We were.
interviews from Lave Radio from Ducksworth, weren't there?
Yeah. I was there in an official Lave Radio capacity. I am I'm the person who poked Lisa to get Fozza to do the thing because I was like, Fozza was basically too busy blethering away to everybody, and like Fozza were meant to be getting interviews, and Fozza was like, "Yeah, I'm just talking to people," and I was like, "I know you're talking to people. Get a fucking microphone and record it. Do the thing." To coin a phrase. So yeah, that was that. We
Did
were
you
in a
interview David?
did we? I
hang on.
don't think we did. I'm trying. I can't remember. I know we did have interviews with David, and I know I spoke to David.
We didn't have interviews with David Braben at that particular time. We'd had interviews with other people, but not David.
Yeah, I know. I spoke to him a wee bit and things like that. And I know he was genuinely touched when we presented him a check for tens of thousands for his charity and thing for special effects, and I think it was another charity as well. But there were charities that David basically said, "Could you if you're going to do something, do it for that, will you please?" And he was genuinely touched with all that. We were in a lovely position underneath an airplane's wing. And it was a nice plane. I can't remember what it was, but I just remember going, "Oh my god, we're under that," and it was awesome. And then most of the event is a blur, I have to admit. I was lucky in inverted commas because I did get to see the Cobra up close and personal when they were making it, because we were obviously setting up.
Mm-hmm.
We were setting up our thing when they were setting up their thing.
Oh, I see. They were assembling it.
Well, it was assembled by the time we were there, but it was like a few Frontier staffers and people for the event, and then we were there setting up our thing, and we could just be there and drool over the Cobra with nobody else wanting to see it and get in the way. We were just like, "Yeah, please don't send any photos of this out. We want this as a surprise." So we were there, as the doors were opening, because the hangar doors were opening, and it was opening, and the Cobra was front and center, and just watching everybody's reaction when they saw that was, they were, tears were in eyes, basically, seeing that Cobra being unveiled.
Yeah,
I managed to scale.
No, it was 1/3 scale.
Okay.
1/3, yeah, it's not 1 to 1.
Still pretty big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got to see it at the Frontier Expo.
Yeah, it's been dug out a couple of other times. I don't know what's happening to it now, but it was amazing.
Yeah. They might have mounted it outside their offices, like the Concorde is in Paris Airport.
Yeah, I don't know
if anyone's got an awful lot of money and wants to buy it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was for sale.
It's in a warehouse in pieces at the moment.
Oh, right.
But it could be put back together. I know there's it's supposed to, for ease of transport, because she's thick. But it is something that they have a big space for it at the moment. They don't have a interesting.
Any billionaires want to buy it and pay for transport puppet? They might be glad of a bob or two at the moment.
Oh yeah, they're gonna put all of their old merch and old stuff on eBay just to see if they get it.
Well, that's what people do that, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, it's called liquidizing assets, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gosh.
But yeah, it was a thing of beauty. And then obviously we had afterwards we all basically went back to the hotel, and that's where we quite infamously managed to edit somebody sober for the interview that we had. Chris Jarvis did. I think it was Jarvis did an amazing edit job, so that this person did not appear completely and utterly shit-faced.
This is when the community was all friends before there weren't any falling outs.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, yeah, it's before those days.
Before those days was. So
it was fun. And yeah, obviously that's the first time we met Ed Lewis as well.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh,
it was
right.
It was Ed's first thing.
I didn't realise he was on board from the get go.
Yeah. He was on board. So the very first, ironically enough. So I thankfully had been, I knew what was going off. And in the stairwell of the hotel that we were all staying at, there must have been some workies. So I basically found this sheet of paper face up on the stairs of the hotel, showing the fact there was a model of a full size Cobra, and Frontier were desperately trying to keep that hidden, and it was just lying in the stairwell of the hotel for anybody to see. So I was responsible and handed that off to Ed before the show went live.
Aren't you such a goody two shoes?
I was a goody two shoes. Well, I am a goody two shoes. I am. Lawful good, or well, maybe not quite. I don't know. Somewhere between lawful good and lawful neutral. Mostly.
Oh dear. Yeah, actually, just as a side note, it is just me, but the good old allegiance system isn't in Baldur's Gate 3, is it?
Say that entirely again.
Well, the whole lawful whatever system. And so on.
You don't pick it. You don't like. I have a big problem with it. I will say right now, I have a big problem with alignment in D&D, as is anyway, because there are you should be free to make whatever fucking choices you want, and that says who you are. I played in the game for months as the only chaotic good character in the campaign, and then about a couple of months in, I got to a point where we waterboarded a guy with vinegar. It's a long story. He was a villain. He was a bad guy, but
yeah.
But there is a problem with I struggle with alignment just in Dungeons and Dragons in general. So I'm quite glad that there is not a huge focus of it in a lot of different campaigns at the moment, because it's unnecessary, because your choices define you. To quote maybe the Doctor, I don't know.
Right. Okay. That's the D&D section over for the moment.
Sorry. For now.
For now.
Right. So bit bittersweet for me, but because I missed it. But yes, it just me. I just saw the whole thing come up on Facebook the other day, and I just suddenly went, "Oh, I am old."
Yeah. Also, I remember, in the past. I remember my 40th birthday at a Lave con.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 2 children be born whilst we've had Elites. Two children be born since the Kickstarter. 1 child since Elite, I guess, technically. Depends on, it's all sort of, where do you count Elite as starting?
Oh, no, that's a big question.
1985.
4.
4.
yeah.
Sorry, it predates me. My apologies.
Yeah. Is the start of Elite 84? Is it
I bet they started
Frontier?
coding it in '83.
No,
Did Elite Dangerous
no,
start with a
hang on.
Kickstarter?
Yeah, we've got to say Elite Dangerous, because otherwise there might be some sued or some legal action.
That is true.
Nah. Now they can't afford it, Colin. It's okay.
No, tell that
Frontier
to Post
can't.
Spider-Mind Games. Tell that to Post Spider-Mind Games. Jeez.
Well, now.
We don't want Bell Rights Incorporated shutting down Lave Radio now, do we?
Oh gosh, can you imagine?
Or
dear.
you said the word elite without the phrase elite dangerous, so that means we can sue you.
You needs to sound it now. Needs to sound. You need to sound like you're pushing your glasses even harder onto your face, Colin. At this point.
I'm sorry, it's this thing that's up my arse at the moment. That's what. That's where those glasses end up. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Can I just pick up on this one real quick?
Okay.
There was a charity streamathon over the weekend in aid of Stack Up. I thought it was really fun. I thought the idea was really fun. There were a couple of hosted by a load of Elite Dangerous commanders. So you're looking at Brother Sabathius, Errolm, Gino Garin, Cal for All Seasons, to name but a few of the commanders that took place. It was a gankers versus goiders thing, and it was like, I enjoyed how it was using the power of ganking for good. They raised over $5,000 for Stack Up, which is a charity that supports veterans. I believe I don't know if it's worldwide veterans. I know it's very heavily in the US. They're a lovely charity. I know a lot of people who've done work for them before. Fantastic. Congratulations to all of the wonderful commanders involved. If you want to donate, we have left there is a link in the show notes. That was the word I was looking for. There is a link in the show notes for if you wish to do so. It was a really good event. I dipped in and tuned in where I could, but I'm busy all of the time. So
we noticed.
Shut up, Ben. Stop drawing attention to it. I don't like it. It's all right when I do it. It's when anybody else draws attention to it.
Sleep.
I don't, mate. I was waiting. I sat on my laptop at 1 o'clock. Sat in bed on my laptop at like 1 o'clock in the morning, like a couple of nights ago, replying to emails and writing a script for something else that I was doing. Yeah, no, I don't sleep.
Talking about you and the seconds of free life you've got. How's things going with the Twitch modding that you were doing as well?
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. We got some good stuff going on. So yeah, things are fun. Things are really fun at the moment, and it's just good times. It's just good times, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure that people are aware of this charity thing that happened because it was cool. I have a charity thing coming up in 2 weeks. I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll probably talk about it next week.
Probably the best time for it. Yes. Right, so if you have a community event taking place soon, as Psychic just said there would be, and you would like us to shout about it across the airwaves, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com, out of to which we did get email messages, and I must thank everybody who offered to help buy me a carrier this week.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I must admit, I was tempted, but I'm determined to do it by myself, just so that I can experience the whole good and bad of actually getting one. So, thank you, Little Bigian. Funding stabilizers. That's always useful. Thank you.
We're definitely doing that as well. That's another one we have to work on.
Right, moving on to the in-game events of what's been happening this week. Well, on Thursday, the 23rd of November, the CG for the mining campaign in LHS 3872 concluded, and there was about 1,500 people who took part in this CG, which is quite a lot for a mining CG. And yes, rocks were mined, and people got rich. I didn't, because I only ended up 100%, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. especially flying around in a T9 with the full VR headset on. That was oh, and when I did get a rock to explode, it is still awesome.
Yeah, I bet core mining in VR particular is great. I'm not sure I've done it.
Yeah, the only problem was that I forgot how close you have to be when the the rock explodes. No, it wasn't that. I had my ship launch fighter at the time that disappeared in a puff of smoke.
Oops.
Oops. Yes. So yeah, keep your fighter hidden when you're yes, doing that. And I had to defend myself in that fighter. Yeah, it was good fun. It's the first time I've ever been in one of the ship launch fighters in VR. And it's awesome. It's like it is a cross between a TIE fighter and an X-wing. It's got the speed and the maneuverability of a TIE fighter with the shields of an X-wing. And I'm there going, this is awesome. So yes, there we have the CG. Did anyone else take part? Or was it just me?
No, I was just too busy enjoying Sol.
Ah, fair enough then. Right, on the here's a red rag to the bull.
Hello.
On Friday, 24th of November, Azimuth Biotech has now claimed that they can serve the Alliance instead of the Sirius Corporation.
Okay,
Go Azimuth.
important.
Go Azimuth.
Important to note that Alliance went, nah, mate. Very important to note that happened first, rather than anything else. I had to change the day since Azimuth nonsense number down in our in the Operation Witch Hunt Discord, because this serves as bullshittery from the Torben Raidmaker had something to say, didn't he? Yeah. Of course he did. We'll get in there. We can be trusted to serve the Alliance for their anti-Xeno needs. We know how well that went the last time, Azimuth. How fucking dare you?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really funny, and because we'd already been doing a little bit of there was
some Azimuth kicking, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the place where the Musashi is at the moment is they've been, there's nothing we can do about it because the Musashi is there. So they will always be, while the Musashi, yeah, sure, call it that. I don't give a shit. While that's there, it's Azimuth will always be in that system because you can't take them take their megaship, their like flagship megaship, you can't take that away from them. So that's sat in this system at the moment. But what had happened is that it crept up and took control of the system.
All they've got now is a megaship.
No, they've got a couple of other systems as well, because they've got Heinmine and T-Tauri. You know when Tanner did the back when they were Taurus Mining Ventures, and Tanner was like, I think there's something dodgy going on. I'm gonna go against Aegis, take my megaship there, and you all have to side with me. And everyone went, hey, these Taurus Mining Ventures people look innocent. Why are you going for them? And then they went, then they did the big switcheroo and became Azimuth.
It's good. It's good twist.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride. I do like this story. I don't know if I've mentioned I'm kind of fond of it. But yeah, like all of that happened. So there's a couple of places where we can't move them out of. T-Tauri is one of them because Heinmine is like hand wavium locked after the results of that CG. Anywhere where they've got a megaship, because megaships are locked to factions, we can't move them out of there. And the Mbuni, I think it is, where you get the permit to Mbuni. They're the only faction in there, and there's no one else around who can move into there and take over. So there's like 4 systems at the moment that they are held to effectively. But we'd noticed after a small period of time that in Zwangda, which is where the Musashi is, they'd crept up. And just as this article came out, we were just completing the war to retake the system away from them. So I thought it was really beautiful timing, and probably like the last day of the war, and we were like, absolutely not. Responding in kind of thing. So yeah, it's just been a bit of fun seeing our stalwart folks who are very active in engaging against Azimuth are still doing it.
Excellent. And it's always good to hear that, to be honest. It really is.
They're in election at the moment, so you can, if you go to Zwangda, they're in election for losing another settlement, or just like getting further down, so we can get them as low as possible, and they only have the Musashi. But they're in election, so if you're wanting something to do in Elite Dangerous and you haven't got anything to do at the moment, there's an election going on in Zwangda. If you want to fight, do things against Azimuth, by all means, fill your boots.
Excellent. Always good for a good voting. No.
Yes.
Moving on from there, we had an update today about the Thargoid War. And this is from the war correspondent Jade Sandlin, who provides her regular summary of the latest news regarding the Thargoid conflict. It's now a whole year since the Thargoid War started. I thought it was December it started. Well, it's close enough, I suppose. Yeah. But a whole year of the Thargoid War, which is, yes. And it's pleasing to report that humanity's resistance remains strong. New invasions are rare, and Thargoid vessels have been driven out of a lot of occupied systems. We've got the numbers for that, which is quite good. So people are quite upbeat about the progress of the Thargoid War. However, there is this sneaky suspicion that something might be happening soon because, yes, there are the thousands of peoples who were captured and rescued from the Titans. Debate is continuing over what to do with them. And also the fact that Felicia Winters winning the federal presidential election says she's going to reduce military spending, which is, yes. Is that really the best idea to do? Mind you, if you're just giving money to Aegis, is that considered spending on your own military?
Is that what she says that she's doing? I haven't read.
No, she's.
I know that Aegis were having contributions from all superpowers at one point, yes. Right?
Yeah, but it all depends on whether or not she considers those contributions to be part of the military spending. But then again, if she cuts back on the military spending and Aegis says, actually, we're going to need some federal battle cruisers, and they say, actually, we scrapped them, it might be a bit difficult.
I'd imagine, real world things, the UK spending money on NATO counts towards our military budget, wouldn't it?
True.
Even if it's a NATO operation.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, probably. What I like about this story, it gives me a little bit of ongoing hope for the game. Is the final paragraph about Felicia Winters releasing all the returnees into civilization next year, when her term of office begins next year. Sort of makes me feel like there's a whole big story arc that's already planned for next year involving. I mean, if they do go down the zombie route, and I'm not saying they will, and I sort of hope they don't, but there's clearly something. They're stringing this story out about these people being released back into society. So if they've got something in mind, it sounds like it's planned for next year. I don't know. I'll take a little bit of hope from that there's more to come.
Yeah. Add that to the comments that were made today. I think yes, we are looking for some decent content next year. The present Thargoid War status. Well, the Thargoids now control 301 systems, which are down 10 from last week. The Tanaris Titan is now completely isolated, but it has not gone inactive, so it's doing something. This is quite interesting, though. A large number of the Spire sites have now also gone inactive, mostly due to human activity. Yeah, it does seem like we're knocking them back quite hard.
Nearly. I'm just looking at the spreadsheet now. It looks like nearly 50%. Well, look, well, not quite, but
yeah, about 40%, really.
Yeah,
a good minority of it has suddenly just gone. Nope, we're dead.
It's a bit of
However,
a shame if they get them all inactive.
yeah. However, there may be something happening because at this present moment in time, there's only 21 alerts which have been stopped, and there's only a day or so left. So that means we could have up to 9 invasions next week.
Well, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm not
mean,
complaining.
no.
Oh no, what a shame.
Oh no, the Thargoids are hanging on. What a shame.
Oh no, that means we get to do
Help
the
us,
fun
Aegis,
bits
you're
that
our
we
only
like.
hope.
No, more gameplay.
Oh no, gameplay. No, gameplay. No.
So, at the moment, they're now down to just about 300 systems from almost 1,200. So that's them officially lost 75% of the territory they've gained.
Take that, Thargoids.
Take that, you bugs.
Alien scum.
Do you want to know more?
Can I just say?
Yes.
And
You
it's more of an ask, actually. I want to see what your guys' opinion is of this. Do we feel that it has run its course at this point, and we're now it's now winding down, or do you think there's going to be something else that comes along on top to make things worse for humanity again? Do you think we have Thargoid war fatigue? Or do you think? I mean, that's many questions in one.
Yes, it is. So basically,
I'd love to know your thoughts.
So what you're asking is, A, do you think that something big is going to turn the corner and throw the war into another?
Mhm.
And
Oh, I tell
two,
you what.
do you think people are burning out
How do you feel about maybe that's something we can discuss
after the break?
after the break?
Yes. You know what?
Why not?
Why not? I think that's
Why
a fantastic.
not?
I mean, there we were thinking, well, what the heck are we going to talk about today? And
No. What I was going to say is, we'll park the carefully planned main discussion that we had.
Absolutely, yes. What a segue!
For another week, and we'll do this one instead. Excellent.
For sure, that sounds perfect.
you know, Alec, have you ever thought of being a spin doctor? So if that's the case, then it's that time of the week again.
Store alert!
And welcome back. Well, the store alert has fired off quite nicely this week because we have the new void paint jobs, which is a variant of black with shininess. Has anybody actually looked at these, or more importantly, has anybody bought them?
I haven't bought them. I was a bit cynical about this because it's like, oh, yet another black, in a game where the 90% of the screen is black, and this is like the fourth variation on black that you've sold us. But that said, I can't. As we've been doing the show, my eyes keep landing back on that void Mamba, thinking, bloody hell, that looks amazing. I really.
It does.
could
It's
get
a
that.
nice black. Isn't it?
It's got that kind of iridescence to it, hasn't it? There's like
Yes,
a blue,
yeah,
like it's like a
yeah.
black blue sheen. I do like that. Did you happen to see that they accidentally went onto the store for the first like 2 hours or so? They went onto the store with the discount with the rest of everything.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they
were they
did.
not supposed to be?
They weren't
Damn, I should have
supposed to
snapped
be.
them up.
No.
Oopsie.
So, some
Oh.
people I know particularly well who snapped them up, who might be celebrating in our chat right now, and who saved 19,500 arcs by doing so. But
Did they buy every single one or something?
they bought like 4, I think, because they really liked them, and fair play to them.
Yeah.
Yes,
But they Yeah, they were discounted, but they're not now. So
No, they're not now because, of course, they're not now because that's when I bought them. Yeah, I've gone and bought the Imperial Clipper one, which is because it's an Imperial Clipper, and I just had to have the Imperial Clipper, and of course the Asp Explorer because the Asp Explorer.
they're actually really quite nice looking. As far
They
as
are.
like just a bog standard black skin, kind of nice looking.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was the Black Friday ones have come around again, and yes, I've got all the Black Friday ones, but these ones have just got a slightly different sheen of black. I've gone into my Gothic stage again. So yes, those have turned out practically for every ship there is, including the Cobra Mark IV, which, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many ship skins there are for the Mark IV. Hang on.
Don't worry, keep talking. I'll find it.
No, don't worry. I've already found them. And
I've
yes.
already found them. Sorry.
No. Yes. Yeah. There's less than 2 pages.
So just like the bog standard ones, right?
So yeah, when you compare it to the Cobra Mark III, there's about 9 pages. So. So yeah, I bought a couple. Anybody else bought them yet? I know, no, some, but Alec is tempted. Alec is tempted.
I'm currently trying to remember if I have bought them. I'm trying to figure out how to work out what I bought recently. I did buy some stuff recently, and I can't remember what.
If they did like a black with a purple undertone, you like the arcs would be flying. If there was if it was like a dark
purple Stygian.
This isn't Stygian.
There is a purple Stygian.
This isn't Stygian. I have a lot of purple Stygian skins already. But if they did a black with a purple undertone, I would be all over that shit like money grew on trees, and I had a money tree in my garden.
Yeah. Get in touch with your inner goth for that one.
Hell yeah. I'd go back to like 15-year-old psychic who only wore black with slight pink accents. That hasn't changed. Oh no.
Oh, and by the way, you can also get the Stygian, the Void Black for the Scorpion and the SRV.
Good.
So just to let you know, Alec.
I have my purple SRV. I can't colour my SRVs anything else. It's too much of a trademark now.
What purple do you use? Is it the Stygian purple or just?
No, it's iridescent, I think. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
Oh yeah, the iridescent ones. They're nice.
They are nice.
They are nice. Moving on from there, as everybody has already mentioned, the Stygian paint jobs are back, and they are 30% off. I love these. Unfortunately, I've got one for every single ship anyway, so that I've got. So, yeah.
Are these limited time? Do you know the Stygians?
Yeah. The Stygians tend to come out sort of November, end of November, beginning of December, and then it migrates over to chrome towards Christmas. So you get your golds and your silver, your chrome colors, and also then those iridescent ones that you're talking about are around Christmas as well.
So it might have a couple of weeks to get your Stygians.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't mind.
I'm asking on behalf of Tuplex in chat.
I saw in chat.
And then my heart went out to him because he's literally 9 arcs short of getting his Stygian paint job, but he's reached his weekly cap.
The issue is I don't want to say like 100% yes, it's still going to stay, but I mean, they'll probably come back next year.
Normally, these when they do the 12 days of Christmas, they normally keep all these things open until the end of the 12 days of Christmas.
I can't remember them doing that that last year. I thought Stygian became the other one. Right. Oh, Tuplex is saying in chat that the Stygian offer runs until December the 1st. So if he plays on Friday, they should be able to do enough to get 9 arcs to be able to buy them, because it will be probably December the 1st around sort of 3-4 p.m. depending on what time web do it really, but I should imagine so. Fingers crossed. I'm crossing everything for you, Tuplex.
We all are. So, moving on from there, I think we will take a break, and then we will come back with our new topic.
Also planned out.
Moving the plan topic away. Yes, moving the plan topic away because this will get better. Yeah. So we'll come back with our main discussion after these messages.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops.
Teach them their weakness and how to exploit them.
Now rip out the hearts. One by one. I don't want to.
Do it. Using the tool. Do it. Now stomp on its face. Smash its face in.
I've got them.
Tickle Me Thargoid. Available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
Dreams. Humanity's dreams. The hope to live among the stars. From early times, we've gazed up to the heavens and wondered if one day we could travel there. Maybe even live there. The Brewer Corporation has made this dream a reality. Constructing intricate cathedrals of metal, circling numerous planets across thousands of systems in our human bubble. Why stay rooted in a gravity well when you can be free in orbit, free to dream, free to live, and one day to become a commander and be free to blaze your own trail? Brewer Corporation, the first step into the unknown. Come join us. Be free.
Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When alarms sound, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman.
Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
And welcome back. During the break, we've been discussing the wonderful flooding that's happened in the United Kingdom in the future, apparently.
And the rest of the world.
Well, yeah, but we've been focusing on the United Kingdom, really. It's nice. It's amazing to see how much has gone from our islands, like Cornwall, Ipswich.
I mean, the bear pit have gone.
Yeah, it does. So
they've got 1,000 years to move.
Does that mean we can finally put jam on top of the cream on our scones? Yes.
Oh no! And now here we have an uncivil war.
Hold on. Who puts jam on top of cream?
I do.
That's a Devonshire cream tea.
No, wait, because it's
you're,
clotted cream.
You're so wrong, Alan.
No, wait, because it's clotted cream on a scone, so that's a nice solid base.
So do you have butter then?
On scones, no.
Not on a cream tea, that's disgusting.
No, I have a scone and I have a big slab of clotted cream.
Clotted cream, then okay, I can
and
see
then
that. Because I know, I know when I've had things I've had, it's been like scone or scone.
Because
Butter,
if I put my jam on
jam,
first and
cream.
then I put a big blob of clotty cream on top, it's going to squash the. I don't know. Doesn't work that way around.
Jam is pretty squishy. I'm not gonna lie.
That is true.
Probably
You know,
hardest at the bottom and softest at the top.
Yeah,
there's an awful lot of arguments already
Sure,
about
there's a
scone or
healthy
scone.
innuendo in that.
So can we
Yeah, and
can we
anyone who
move on
says
before?
scone is doing it wrong.
Yeah, can we move on before a big fight starts? Because it's just gonna just gonna kick off.
We're gonna have fisticuffs over the correct pronunciation of scone. That is how
Alec
Lave
actually
ended.
says scone.
There was a little sneak peek into what our main discussion would have been, folks. Anyway, never mind.
No, we are gonna make it into up to episode 469. If it kills me, I have so much material for next week.
And next week, the difficulties of cooking tea in the microwave. No. Oh my goodness! Hashtag British problems. Moving on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we are running out of time. We better actually move in.
Yeah. So the question that questions that Psychic asked earlier was the Thargoid War. Do you feel that it's beginning to wind down, or do you think it's getting there's going to be another twist coming in the tail? And are you getting tired of the Thargoid War? Are you getting fatigue, bug fatigue? So let's start off with everybody to begin with. Ben, what's your feeling on the Thargoid War so far?
Okay, so I started getting bug fatigue about this time last year, I want to say.
When the war started?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've never really been into my AX content. It's fun. It's fun to do for a couple of minutes and things like that, but I'm in the Thargoid War to randomly shoot down a bunch of aliens, then I'll happily bugger off again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not in. And equally, I'll randomly go and save a bunch of civilians and bugger off again. It's extra content that I can dip into, enjoy, go away, do something else. I've never been massively into, I need to save humanity, damn it!
Yeah.
Very much like, let's try out the new stuff. Okay, done.
Yeah, there's fun bits in it. Yeah, there is definitely fun things in it, and I mean the new AX Spire content is inspired.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it's safe to say that we, as a collective group of people who talk into microphones on a Tuesday night, are kind of those players that do sort of dip in as and when, unless you find something in the means, like Colin with power play, having that dedication to it, and Alec with nonsense and having that dedication to doing batshit crazy things with SLVs. I feel like we are all the kind of player who will just dip into something and have a look and see if it's our thing, rather than one of those ride or die. Would you say that was fair?
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm actually the other way
That's great.
round. At the moment, I'm completely invested in the Thargoid War. It's
Okay.
the only thing that I do in the game at the moment. Well, it's the only thing my main character does in the
Right.
game. The other two commanders, they're still doing their thing that I go back to when I want to change. But my main character at the moment is just pure Thargoid content. I don't
Okay.
mean combat. It's just anything to do with the Thargoid War. I'm in there. I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to get involved. I'm getting my arse kicked a lot, but I don't care because
You're enjoying getting your ass kicked.
I am enjoying getting my arse kicked, but not in a nice, not in the right way. If you see what I mean, but it's part and parcel of, it's a war. You're going to take losses,
Mm.
and I'm losing a lot. Thank goodness for that the community goal, because I've only just got my funds back to how they should be. But I will admit this, that as far as fatigue is concerned, when you do it a lot, as with anything in Elite, you do begin to burn out.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I found is that, especially when we started to win too much, a lot of the fun content started to disappear.
Yeah.
When we became efficient, it became certainly for me as well. When we became really efficient at doing stuff, and there's people who are in like my Discord and other places and stuff that go around saying things like, "Oh, you're welcome that we got rid of all of this content for you." I'm just kind of like, like, do you know what I mean? I don't.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I understand it's a great achievement. It's a great achievement to like of being able to make Tyrannus isolated. That's great. Congratulations. I miss being able to pick and choose where I do my content, where I enjoy the content that the game had. But also there has to be movement with the Thargoid War. There has to have been some movement either way.
Yeah. I think it definitely was the case where the status quo was getting stale, and then what happened was, as we've moved things back, the status quo has got there's only certain content available. Now they've tried to alleviate that with other content, such as the ground-based content with the reactivation missions and things like that, but they haven't. Those things haven't ticked the box for me because I can never bloody find the damn things in the first place. The Spires,
the thing. Sorry, no, go ahead.
Yeah, the Spires thing has been fantastic,
Mhm.
and I'm scared that what's happening at the moment is that that content's going to go away quite too quickly, because obviously we've lost what 40% of the Spires already.
Like the ground fights, they'll slowly get
Yeah.
sorted out, and
So-
that'll be gone as well.
Unlike everybody else, I'm hoping that either it's going to be over soon, or there's got to be a decent twist coming, and then everything comes back again. Because I just feel that it's getting to the point where it is drawn out a little bit, and then they put in something really great, and then that will get drawn out a little bit more, and then all of a sudden you're there thinking, you've had all this fantastic content, but because it's become out as drip feed, it feels like it's being stretched too thin.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw someone mention on Twitter in response to I imagine probably some negativity about the future of Elite Dangerous, saying that
As a surprise.
I know, saying that there had been quite a lot of stuff felt that it was too far behind a skill gap and a grind and things along those lines. The Spire reactivation, but the Spire shenanigans is something that I genuinely believe that you can do with stock equipment, or maybe like a mildly put together ship. It doesn't have to be like this massively engineered job, and it's something that is accessible for
everybody.
Newer players, those without engineering. It's something that they can participate in. However, that being said, that being a thing that being something that they can participate in, not fully, because the bits with the Scorpion on the ground can be really difficult, but you can, or the ground bits can be tricky, but it's worth it when you get it done. It's just a weird thing.
Well, as someone who's played the Thargoid War extensively, there are 2 points that I'd want to say. Is that the first point is, as far as the grind to get into seeing the Titan, which is getting the caustic sinks, that was actually quite fun. And to tell you the truth, it's more scary thinking about it than actually doing it. Okay, you've got an advantage if you've got a fleet carrier, but it actually only took me a couple of hours to get all the bits I needed, and this was really surprising. I enjoyed those hours. The main problem that I had, and I still have, is the glaive.
Oh God, yeah.
that ship is actually destroying the content for me because the main issue that you have, in order to get to the Titan, you need a certain kind of ship. But if you get caught by a glaive in that certain type of ship, you might as well just quit and restart. There are certain bits of gameplay which require specialist builds, and if you are hit by other parts of that gameplay, then yeah, you might as well just give up and try again, because I found that so frustrating, and it's the same with the Orthrus. You couldn't find an Orthrus left, right, or centre to begin with. It's probably one of the reasons why the alert systems turned to invasion so much at the very beginning. But it's gone the other way now, where it's you just sample one and hey presto, they all run away. Anyway, that's am I getting tired of it? At the moment, no, but that's because they've released the Spire content. If I get bored of the Spire content, then yes, I'll probably begin to go, okay, either end it or put in the next phase, because sometimes it feels like it's a little bit too long between the updates.
I don't know if I want either of those two things actually.
What do you want, Alec?
I would quite like. I think to answer possibly what was your first question. I think maybe we have got all the bits now. You know, we can. It feels fairly complete, bar the sort of loose end of what's going to happen to the survivors. But you know, we've got into the Titan. We've got ways to rescue the people, and we've finally got a way to allegedly affect the Titans with the whole poisoning thing. I feel like there's a couple of little loose ends, which is the thing with the people, which could fizzle out in Galnets. And I feel like there needs to be, almost wonder if it's a bug, but I feel like there needs to be a visible effect to the poisoning of the Titans. You know, I suppose I want to see a dead Titan.
I would love to see a dead Titan.
You know, we've got what they call deactivated spires, dormant spires. That doesn't seem beyond the pale that we'd get a dormant Titan.
I don't want a dormant Titan. I want a Titan to explode.
Yeah, maybe. Here's the thing though, with the burnout and the sort of the fatigue and what I'd like. I suppose it's a careful balance issue, but I wouldn't mind if the components we have more or less ebbed and flowed indefinitely. So I would quite like to see spire sites come back again. You know, if we leave the Thargoid, if we leave the Titan alone in a certain sector, then it starts to gain new control systems again,
things,
and then those Titans come back. And what I would foresee happening is that for sure, Colin and you know, probably myself, and we'll get bored of it and go and do something else. But you know, if you think about those ground sites that were so much fun to just go and see or go and fight at,
Yeah.
go back to those in 6 months. You know, in the same way that I might go back to mining because I haven't done mining for a while, or I might, you know, I'm currently doing like, you know, it was fun to go and do some tourist missions with the Michael Brooks because I hadn't done that, or you know, 6 months time, think, yeah, do you know what? I might go and do a bit more Thargoid ground combat. It seems a shame that these things are going to fizzle out. So I'd quite like to see them sort of ebb and flow and get a bit of balance that they can come back. But equally, I'm very wary of being so dependent on Frontier producing new content. You know, I never felt like Elite needed to be that sort of game where we had to, where they'd release content and we'd play it and burn out and then sit there drumming our fingers going, okay, I've done that. What's the next bit of content? You know,
Yeah.
I felt like Elite could have a life beyond that cycle.
Yeah, but
So I'd quite like the war to just go on indefinitely, really, and ebb and flow, and we might drift away from it because we're bored of it, but we might go back to it. And equally, you know, the people on the forums that are like, "Oh, I'm not interested," or "I'm out exploring," in 6 months' time might actually get around to it.
I doubt it. People on the forums are really stubborn.
But sometimes people have long, you know, particularly people explorers and things. They do have fairly long timescale plans, and you know, and they do want to get you know, there's loads of things on my to-do list that I genuinely do want to get round to doing, but it can take weeks or months to get there. you know, because I need to get through the Elite Dangerous adventures, and there's a time trial thing that I'm in the middle of, and I don't know. So you know, there's a few things on my back burners that are months away from me getting there. So equally, I can imagine that there are people that would love to get involved in some of this
Yeah.
Thargoid stuff, but it's just not quite there yet. And if it just ebbed and flowed and went on indefinitely, then it would always be there, which would be quite nice.
Excellent. Right, Claire, your turn.
Oh, you know why? You know why I asked this question, didn't I? Don't you? It's because
Why?
I didn't have an answer, mate.
Oh.
I genuinely didn't feel like I had an answer, and I still don't. Like I am kind of bored. I am kind of bored with it. It's you know, I've spoken like the last few weeks about going to log in, making a conscious effort to log into Elite on a Thursday morning, and when I log into Elite on a Thursday, and I'm like, what do I want to do? Normally, categorically, it's not going to be fight Thargoids.
No.
Like none of it is going to be fight Thargoids. That will be the very bottom thing on my list, because I mean, I like the Spire stuff. The Spire stuff's really fun. But like being in Thargoid combat is bottom of my list. And we did it religiously for months. We were doing the ground sites and doing the fighting on the ground sites, and we'd get groups together, and it was so much fun. I made so much money. It was great. But
you burnt out on it.
Are there any ground sites?
No.
There we go. It's difficult to do them
Why
if
is
they don't
that,
exist.
incidentally? So we still have 301. Is it because there are no invasion systems?
Pretty much. That's my understanding.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting a little bit annoyed, because everyone's saying, "Oh, look, we've managed to stop all these alerts," and I went,
"You're welcome." Yeah, great, thanks.
Yeah, you just stopped my favorite content. Thanks.
Yeah.
Can I just chip in on this? This is on Frontier. This isn't on the AXI.
Oh no, for sure.
Oh,
For
okay,
sure.
good,
Absolutely.
good,
I'm not like kicking off at them for
I couldn't quite tell what the sentiment was.
No, it's definitely not, hey, fuck you guys for being efficient. For sure. Incredibly well done for working it out and doing all the things that you need to do. But to the everyday commander who's not paying full attention, I've not seen a ground combat site for a while. I've not been aware of one. So if I have to, then my guys, we're not good. Like, you know me, I don't plan anything. So if I have to go, that's a fucking lie, because I've made loads of plans over Christmas. But if I'm going to go and if I'm logging into Elite, I don't want to have to spend like a few minutes trawling through a Discord first to find if there's a possibility, like the AXI Discord, to find if there's a possibility of there being a ground site that I can go and take a look at.
There is a bit of that in Elite, though, isn't there? Like in the same way that the Spire site missions aren't every rescue mega ship, you do have to do a little bit of research. And Elite is kind of that game where you have to just find out where can I get the mission I want.
You know that those missions are given out by rescue megaships, and there's a finite amount of rescue megaships in Elite.
If I was a streamer and I wanted to do one of those on stream, I wouldn't want to have to go visit every single rescue megaship.
Oh no, I just ask someone else who knows what
do
they're
your
talking
research.
about.
Yeah.
Nah, I just ask someone else. Fuck it. Someone else will know. Someone in chat will know normally, but it's I don't know. I don't know. I want something to give, but I want access to the stuff that I used to really enjoy doing.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think that sums up that what our thoughts are on the Thargoid War at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see what Frontier pull out the bag over the next month or so, or even next year.
Next year, I think, at this point.
Yeah, next year. But we've still got hopefully this patch at some point, and the plot will continue over Christmas. I don't think they'll stop it just for Christmas. Anyway, so we'll have a quick touch on. We've got a mostly clueless section for you, a new one. It has been noted by some players that they're being attacked by federal or imperial agents for no reason. Well, actually, there is a reason that you need to check for. You need to check if you've accidentally pledged for a power, or you've pledged for a power and not left them. Because as long as you are pledged for a power, and if you've pledged for the Imperial side and you come across Federal agents or vice versa, they will attack you, unless, especially if you've still got leftover power play vouchers. So I've noticed that happening a few times. So after you've got your blue head princess shields, leave her in the dust. Don't hang on to it. Leave her in the dust, because otherwise the feds they might take a pop at you. Just to let you know.
Counterpoint. What if I run out of Prismos and I don't want to wait the 4 weeks? I need to stay pledged to Ashling, just so I don't have to wait 4 weeks and I only have to wait 1 week. Just a counterpoint.
Buy them all in advance.
That's the risk you have, isn't it?
My guy, I've just said I don't plan.
That's the risk you take.
Well,
especially if you go visit Earth and all of a sudden you see Federal agents coming after you. Well, what do you expect? Right. Any other business? Well, here's number one. Ben, did you put this one in?
I threw this in actually.
Right, I like, yes.
It didn't quite fit in the community section, as I was looking for videos to sort of recommend this week, and this one popped up. I think it's really interesting. It's nearly an hour-long documentary by Valve. It's an official 25th anniversary documentary on the making of Half-Life, and it's fascinating.
Another thing to make me feel old.
It's really interesting because there's always been something about Valve games, particularly, the Half-Life series.
Is this Half-Life 1, 2?
Yes, one.
One.
Half-Life 1, the original. There's always been something about their games that I felt was different, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. And they describe very nicely how they, sort of
How they put it all together. Yeah.
Yeah, and how they did do something different about making sure that something happened round every corner, and the way that it leads you round, it leads you on, and everything that you could, things like just being able. There's a nice section where they talk about being able to interact with the environment. So if you shoot at the wall or hit the wall with your crowbar, it needs to leave a mark, because if it doesn't, it feels like the environment's ignoring you. And they talk a lot about that, and it's really interesting. And
it's
you
about
start to realize-
immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that sort of this was at the time when there wasn't ragdoll physics and things like that, but they still had all the characters being animated in ways that hadn't been done in any other games before.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's well worth a watch. It's really interesting, and I'm sure it will appeal to a lot of our listeners who, I'm sure, of that generation where Half-Life was quite special.
Yes.
Can I just ask a quick daft question?
Go on then, Ben.
Have Valve actually produced any games recently?
No,
Well, they
the
keep-
last
they
one
keep-
Dota's fucking ancient.
Yeah, well, they're
now.
still running it. But
but they're still
they've got
running
St-
Half-Life and Half-Life 2.
and they've got Steam.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Half-Life, yeah, Alex.
Unfortunately, I got some news for you there, Ben. Gabe, the guy who basically runs
Gabe
Valve,
Newell.
yeah, he says that he's never going to write another game.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, he says he's
Well,
never going to write another game.
That's not a big surprise, considering the fact he's CEO and president of a large company, but he's got minions to do that.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Steam is making them so much money.
Oh yeah, I mean Valve as a company doesn't need to, but they did make damn good games.
They did. And yeah, you just have to look at Half-Life, Alex.
I'm thinking Portal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Portal,
I love Portal.
One of the best games best games I've ever played. Both of them.
Yeah, both. But you're right; they both stand up in their own
They're
ways, don't they?
They're like Portal 1 was incredible. But Portal 2 has a very, very, very soft. I've got a very soft spot for Portal 2.
Yeah.
I've loved it so much.
Well, next we have The Dex Legacy Season 2. It has returned with an explosive and thrilling adventure. It's premiered tonight, obviously on Lave Radio, but I think it was before the show. You can find further information at thedexlegacy.com, including links to the paperback book The Dex Legacy Season 1, with collected scripts and commentary by Emily Inkpen. And also there's the complete Season 2 in HD audio. Sticking with audio drama, we still have the Planescape Torment unofficial story podcast, which is now up to episode 40, and there is a long way to go for this. You can find details in the show notes, or if you'd like to support it, pop over to Ko-fi.com, Revo GM. Nice bit of Planescape Torment. But on the subject of D&D,
Hey, Dungeons and Dragons. That sounds like my call. If you, hey, I do a D&D stream every now and again. We have probably the last show of the year. It's going to be on Sunday. It is it's the second of a two-parter. That one was last week. That's on YouTube. Shen's bedtime rhyme. It was going through my head for 3 days after the first show, so I'm really looking forward to it happening again. Do. Great. I can do it already. Can't wait to scare the shit out of my players.
Oh dear. Yes, right. Our question of the week. Thankfully, Claire was kind enough to put this out on Saturday, which are, what additions would you like to see in the store for your commander customization? So obviously, fashion, pose, vogue. What would you like to see? It was Sunday, actually. I do these on a Sunday. I do them when I start to think about them. I have a routine on a Sunday now. I listen to Chris Mark 4 on Black Diamond FM from 12 till 2, and I think about what the question of the week is going to be. You are welcome. The first person that we had was Dan Technic, who said that they really, really want an Imperial suit. Bask in her glory and all that. That's the one with the lines over the face, isn't it? The Imperial suit?
Yeah, I was going to say the NPCs have got that white. Yeah, I guess that's Imperial.
I don't know. I don't think I want to look like a cheese grater.
I don't know. I think they're kind of cool.
Cool. It's a cool outfit.
Alec?
Yeah. Oh, speaking, Chris, the Dow Scott says, people went crazy for the hoods, but my commander wants a snazzy cape.
No capes.
I thought that we already had cape. Oh, is that trench coats? We've got trench coats, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, we do. We do, don't we?
You could do with a bit of wind, couldn't you, to make capes work? Capes are just going to hang down flat in these like low gravity, no wind environments.
I'm not going to lie. If we had a trench coat, it would be all that my character was wearing.
I'm sure I'll look it up, but I thought we had trench coats already.
I know when I did the tour of Frontier, there was trench coats, and in the concept art that was that we were sort of seeing about, but I don't actually know if any made it to game.
Yeah, because they clip through. They clip, wouldn't they? If it goes down, it goes down past the hips, it would clip. If you're sitting in a chair and stuff.
Would be difficult.
Yeah, I don't think they do it.
Well, I've got the wonderful LCU Noel Fool like one with his amazing singing voice. He needs a lab coat, since we're talking about Half-Life 2. Half-Life. But that aside, I'd like to be able to use the ship decals on an arm patch or breast patch.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just scaling down, isn't it? How hard can it be?
Oh, Alec! We need a bingo card. We need a fucking bingo card. That's what we need.
We almost made it through a show. Sorry, Tom. We almost made it through a show. Go on, Ben.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted by Chris Mark 4 looking for a trench coat. So yeah, Sophia's saying more light-colored suits, please. Yes, the black ones do look really amazing, but I always switch back to a white one because they're better in photos and videos. Aside from suits, I kind of want more hairstyles and more decals.
Longer hair, I'd adore. I'd love to have longer hair. The longest hair is a tiny wee ponytail that you can get on the back.
Would you really wear long hair and
absolutely, I would.
Would you?
Give me an interesting way to style it. Then yeah, absolutely, I would. An interesting.
Sorry, I'm just thinking Princess Leia buns.
Well, Princess Leia buns. Oh, are you trying to tell me that they wouldn't make that Frontier wouldn't make a fucking killing by getting Princess Leia buns?
Oh, they would make a bomb.
I
We're
take it back.
amazing.
I thought that we had trench coats on the Plainsman Peacekeeper pack, but I'm wrong.
No.
I'm obviously getting something.
They've got
a
like a
false
weird
memory.
wraparound skirt, haven't they?
Yeah, that's in the Plainsman
Yeah.
Diplomat.
Oh, one of them, I don't know.
Yeah, no trench coats. There you go.
No trench coats and no capes. Silas Resi says either exo attachments like mechanical upgrades or robot legs / arms, proper cyborg style, but maybe only available from Jack's station. That's quite cool. I like that idea. I like the idea of having like a false leg or a false arm or something, or like a metallic arm. Do you know what I mean?
Metallic eyes, can't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we can make our eyes look a bit weird. Or like we can make our eyes look fake, what I should say. But it'd be quite nice to rep. I'm gonna sit on like a representation kind of thing, but like a fake leg would be kind of cool. It's something new to add.
Excellent.
Yep, I agree. Tala says, not really desperate for it to appear since we have it, but I'm a huge fan of head coverings that go over helmets. Hoods like with the Wraith set, or especially wraps like the Nomad set. Love that kind of thing. They do look
It can't beat a good hoodie.
Can't beat a good covering on your helmet.
I was trying to avoid that, but no, you had to go there.
Amazing. I'm so proud of
we
you.
have a show title.
Kilt 108. Oh, 101. 801.
Well done, Colin. Well done.
Yes. Sorry, Kilt. Okay, let's pretend that backpacks are separate from suits, but a cosmetic backpack may be one with wings that deploy when you disembark, or weird thrusters that may even be a Santa bag to go with all those other Christmas swag. That would be a quick way to help me restock on arc points. All of a sudden, I've got this feeling of Dora the Explorer. I don't know why.
Hola.
No, don't get me sidetracked. Happy Monkey is saying that they would like a Santa suit, keeping on that Christmas theme. Also, yeah, more animal heads. He's wanting a monkey. Well, they're wanting a monkey head, please. Some might complain about the forced nightification of the game, but really, it's 3309, and if I want to wear a space helmet that looks like a gorilla, I'm going to. Also, more colors. Lots of the suits are really drab.
100% more colours, yes, please.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that he's saying there. You know, I want a Santa suit. I want, especially for the Chinese New Year, like we had the tiger. Why not give us that for every year? That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I wish
it was rabbit, wasn't it?
Was it rabbit?
Rabbit last year, something like that. Yeah. No, we had the tiger, but last year.
Why didn't we get
a rabbit one? I don't know.
Yeah. Is there a year of the cat apart from tigers? Obviously.
Kind of wonder if it's somebody's pet project, some developer that said, "Can I do it? Go on, let me."
It might well have been. Oh yeah, it would be another way for print your own money, frankly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Commander Duck O says in winter they tend to wear a long warm coat. They want a long flappy warm coat, possibly brown. I wonder why they might want that.
Yeah,
the
funny.
Looking mighty brown there.
Can't take the sky from me. Right.
I wonder why.
Oh me. I'm getting all the Chris's tonight. It's Chris Mark 5. I love to see the return of the. Oh yeah, here. I'd love to see the return of the Year of the Tiger set. In fact, I hope they bring out more cool stuff just to upset those people who get their arse in their hand about it.
Amazing. I love
More
it.
cool stuff.
Oh,
to upset people who get their arse in their hand about it. Yes.
On the subject of that, why did I get this one?
It was just in order, Colin. It was just in order.
Was it now? Yes, right. Okay, Chebs will. He wants a mankini.
How? There's like limited atmosphere.
Yeah.
Let's be sensible.
He doesn't care. Somehow he wants to let out his inner Borat.
Amazing.
Nice. Yeah. So me. I'm questioning what that person earlier was saying about lots of black suits, because I can't think of any black suits like we've got the black ships.
I feel like a lot of them are really dark.
There's dark suits, but I want a black suit. I want my, like.
You can get a black. I have a black suit that I've called Splinter Cell. It's literally just the undersuit without any of the attachments on it.
Yeah, so you can get a black undersuit, but I want black.
But then I want
Odyssey level stuff.
But it looks shit in pictures though.
Not if I was on a snow planet. And
you just look like a shadow, mate.
That sounds good. I want a proper black suit.
Okay.
If I can have a black ship, I want a black suit, damn it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I would like dealy boppers in many different colours and many different varieties of brightness. Also, I'd like lots of brightly coloured suits. The closest thing we get is sometimes purple, little purpley bits, and they're not great. And I want chest plate decals. If the suit can have a chest plate decal, like what's that big bubble one that we got last week? It's missing a decal for the chest plate. Let me wax something on my boobs.
So basically, you want something that for other people to aim at.
Yeah, give me a target that I can put on my boobs.
There is a target
on the back,
isn't
right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. We ran
What
out of
about Colin and Alec?
We haven't got any new ones.
Yeah, I couldn't really come up with anything. I tell you what, the only thing I did, I googled this. I did think, I quite like something sort of maybe a bit sort of reflective. I started thinking Predator, and I thought that's obviously a step too far because that's
like
pay
a
to win.
chrome kind of thing.
But maybe not as far as literally Predator camouflage, but maybe a bit chromy. And then I thought, doesn't Chuck Yeager wear a really cool shiny silver suit when he flies the F-51 in The Right Stuff? And I went and looked, and it wasn't as cool as I remembered it. But maybe something a bit like that.
Isn't that the same as the vintage Intrepid pack?
No, it's shiny, it's silver.
Shiny, silver. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, Matrix trench coats. I'm all for my Matrix trench coats. So yeah, that'll be it. Anyway, shout outs. Because we've run over a little bit. So our sister station, according to Google Bard, the insignificant Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on Thursdays at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, at radio.forthemug.com. I wonder if they'll say anything. Probably not. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We'll give shout-outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. So hello to the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And, of course, the lovely Loose Screws, those cheese-munching Yankees over there. Now, following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, that's provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd just like to thank everyone who's chipped in the Twitch chat. And what in-game commanders have you had crater diving with you, Ben?
Ben?
Obviously, he's hit the bottom
No,
of the crater.
I've hit the button again. So yeah, Siberius has been crater diving with us, but
Lovely.
Chris is back at the bar.
I
don't know who Chris has found propping up the bar with him.
In the bar, we had Siberius earlier on before we left with him, Soka 42, Real Merle, and Neon Saint.
Oh, that was nice of them to visit. So special thanks, of course, go to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music for the show. But that is it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu section of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode so that we're not making things up at the last minute.
What are you talking about? We never did any of that.
Plan.
It was fully planned.
Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Claire.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Ben.
Good night, Colin.
Thanks to Alec.
Thank you, Colin.
And most thank you of all toes to the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you cannot do that, then fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. Need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 28th of November 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, a year on from the Thargoid invasion, how is it going for the 8 tentacled aliens? Evil Corporation Azimuth makes a bid for the Alliance's money. There are rumours of a shake-up in the powers next year. And if you want a black paint job, the Pilots Federation have you covered.
It's now a year since Maelstrom Tyrannus, the first of the 8 so-called Thargoids, arrived. After a year of fighting back the invasion, are we now on the point of isolating those 8 Titans and effectively ending the invasion? Tyrannus arrived in Hyades sector FB-N B7-6 on the 29th of November 3308, leaving the wreckage of the Kingfisher peace convoy behind it, and starting the Thargoid invasion. By May, the Thargoids had advanced into nearly 1,200 systems, but that was their zenith. Since then, they've been systematically beaten back to the point that we can finally contemplate the end of the war. A huge amount of progress has been made in recent weeks against the new Thargoid spire sites and in isolating the Tyrannus Titan. There are many ways the war against the Thargoids is being prosecuted. Recovering captured humans from the Titans is one powerful mechanism, as is destroying Orthrus interceptors at the spire sites. Those sites are believed to be supply sites for the Titans, so with every spire site around Tyrannus shut down, it'll be interesting to see what happens in that Maelstrom system. Additionally, many commanders have been taking missions to contaminate the spire sites with a mechanism developed by Professor Palin. This requires operational spire sites, so Tyrannus can no longer be harmed in this way, and Lygong and Indra may soon also be deprived of resupply. The remaining 5 Titans still have the majority of their spire sites active, making the contamination missions possible. Progress against the invasion really does seem to be going remarkably well. Can the Thargoids find a way to reverse their losing streak before the end of the year? If not, then it won't be long until the 300 remaining Thargoid-controlled systems have been cleared, leaving the 8 Titans isolated and unprotected. Like ancient battleships separated from their convoys, can the Titans last long without supply and without military backup? The next few weeks and months will be very interesting.
Azimuth Biotech hopes to step in if the Alliance chooses to end its defence pact with the Sirius Corporation, but its historical mistakes and its current lack of expertise may make this a hard deal to sell. The Alliance is reconsidering its 2-year-long relationship with the Sirius Corporation, during which the Megacorporation has done little to assist the Alliance. It has certainly helped the Alliance Navy to kit out some old freighters for anti-Thargoid use, and it has helpfully deployed its own megaships to Alliance systems where there are no Thargoids. But the Sirius Corporation has taken no practical part in the war against the Thargoids. Whether Azimuth would be any better seems unlikely. Its current Chief Executive Officer, Torben Rademacher, makes the bold claim that it is the only corporation to specialise in anti-Xeno weaponry, but its only recent contributions have been minor tweaks to existing weaponry that for the most part was developed by Aegis, working in partnership with its network of engineers. Rademacher dismisses Aegis as a gang of publicity seekers and Sirius as a manufacturer of tumble dryers. However, neither of these organisations has the deaths of an incalculable number of innocent civilians on their hands. Azimuth, which has been directly involved in 2 attempts to commit genocide against the Thargoids, also practised vivisection on its human test subjects, ran a military wing known as the Black Flight that murdered thousands to prevent knowledge of the return of the Thargoids from spreading, and then, in order to test its Proteus Wave weapon, encouraged Thargoids to invade a number of systems, including the Alliance Sosong system, with the loss of millions of lives. Azimuth was also directly responsible for the loss of the Alliance megaship Oath of Tindarius when the Proteus wave backfired in HIP 22460 in August last year, the event that then led to the present Thargoid invasion. Azimuth has, in other words, done more to stoke tensions between humans and Thargoids and has been responsible for more deaths of humans and Thargoids than any other organisation. It seems likely that Azimuth has lost the ability to create any more Proteus Wave weapons, as they are not offering such technology to the Alliance. So, unless Salvation is dramatically resurrected, the galaxy is safe from that. However, the Black Flight, of which nothing has been heard recently, remains an ominous presence in the history of Azimuth. Its command centre, the Overlook, was destroyed in HIP 22460 several years before the firing of the Proteus wave, but it is likely that something still remains of Azimuth's private navy. Is the Black Flight on offer to the Alliance? And will the Alliance really want to associate itself with the most evil megacorporation in the galaxy, a corporation that has deliberately caused the deaths of millions of its citizens? Even the Prime Minister might have trouble squaring that circle.
Rumours of a shake-up in the galactic powers have been fuelled by the retirement from Torval mining last week of Senator Zemina Torval. The senator, whose longevity is reportedly fuelled by a steady supply of progenitor cells, has handed over her controlling share in the company to her children, Constancia, Petra and Titus. This leaves her with no source of income other than her senatorial stipend. But there are strong rumours that Senator Zemina may be considering standing down from the Senate too, possibly next year. Coupled with the recent illness of the Imperial Mother, which has inevitably stoked speculation about the succession to the Imperial throne, and the transfer of power in the Federation to President-elect Winters, several of the long-established powers seem less secure in their roles. Outgoing President Hudson has vowed to remain on as a power within the federal superpower, but at present only Alliance Prime Minister Maan seems secure, with his chief opponent, Councillor Nakato Kane, a vocal but relatively ineffective rallying point within the Assembly. Of course, Senator Torval may not be planning to retire quite yet. Perhaps she has her eye on the top job. Emperor Arissa would do well to get her food checked for poison and to avoid being alone with Torval. The scheming has started, and no matter how long Arissa plans to remain emperor, her family and others close to the heart of the imperial government will all be thinking about who and what comes next.
Following the success of such colourful paint jobs as Metallic Black, Crossfire Black and Midnight Black, and with the recent release of its new range of Void Black paint jobs, the Pilots Federation has revealed plans to release a whole new range of paint jobs covering the whole colourful spectrum from black all the way through to black. Some of the schemes we can look forward to seeing in the following months are Midnight, Ink, Coalsack, Pitch, Savlon Soul and Charcoal. Pride of Place will go to the final release in the series, inspired by the darkest object in the galaxy, the blackest of black paint jobs, the Sagittarius A-Star.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.